When it comes to blackheads, the first mistake most people make is thinking they're caused by dirt. I can't tell you how many times I've heard someone say, "I just need to scrub harder." But here's the truth: blackheads aren't a sign that your skin is dirty. They're actually a sign that your pores are doing exactly what they're supposed to, producing oil. The problem happens when that oil, mixed with dead skin cells, gets trapped inside the pore and meets air. That exposure causes oxidation, which turns it dark. So what you see isn't dirt, it's simply oxidized oil. Once you understand that, the entire approach to treating and preventing blackheads changes. You stop attacking your skin and instead start working with it. Think of your pores like tiny doorways on the surface of your skin. They let oil flow naturally, keeping your skin soft and healthy. When those doorways get clogged, the oil can't escape. Instead of forcing them open with harsh scrubs or painful squeezing, the goal is to help them function the way they were meant to. And that starts with balance, keeping the skin clean, hydrated, and gently exfoliated. People often believe that drying out the skin will shrink pores or reduce blackheads, but that couldn't be further from the truth. When you strip away too much oil, your skin panics. It overcompensates by producing even more oil, which leads to, you guessed it, more blackheads. One of the most important things to remember is that everyone's skin is different. Genetics, hormones, and even your environment can play a role in how prone you are to blackheads. Some people have naturally oilier skin, while others might only notice them on specific areas like the nose or chin. Instead of comparing your skin to someone else's, learn what triggers your breakouts. Sometimes it's as simple as using the wrong moisturizer or sleeping with makeup on. Other times, it's about not exfoliating enough or exfoliating too much. Understanding your unique skin pattern is key to managing those stubborn little spots. Now, let's talk about the science behind why they form. Inside your pores, you have sebaceous glands that secrete sebum, your skin's natural oil. This oil is essential. It keeps your skin flexible and protects it from the environment. But when sebum mixes with dead skin cells, it forms a sticky plug. If that plug stays under the skin, it becomes a whitehead. If it's exposed to air, it oxidizes and turns dark, forming a blackhead. So while it may look like a speck of dirt, it's really just a chemical reaction on the surface. That's why no amount of scrubbing can truly wash away blackheads. You need to dissolve or dislodge that plug from within the pore, not just attack it from the surface. The best way to start addressing blackheads is by creating a routine that respects your skin barrier. A gentle pH balance cleanser removes excess oil without stripping moisture. Using products that contain ingredients like salicylic acid helps loosen those trapped plugs by exfoliating inside the pore. Retinoids, on the other hand, speed up cell turnover, preventing dead cells from accumulating and clogging the pore in the first place. These are the kind of ingredients dermatologists trust, not because they give instant results, but because they work with your skin over time. It's about consistency, not aggression. Another thing people don't realize is that blackheads don't always need to be physically removed. Yes, extractions can help when done correctly, but they're not a cure. If the underlying causes, like excess oil or buildup, aren't addressed, those pores will just clog again. That's why understanding what blackheads are is so critical. When you know it's not dirt, you stop punishing your skin. You stop scrubbing until it's raw or using alcohol-based toners that sting and burn. You start treating your skin like an organ that needs care, not a surface that needs punishment. Even lifestyle plays a role. Diet, sleep, stress, all of these can influence oil production and inflammation. Eating too many refined carbs or sugary foods can spike insulin, which triggers your oil glands. Not getting enough rest or being under constant stress can throw your hormones out of balance. So, sometimes the key to clear pores isn't in a bottle, it's in your daily habits. Hydrate well, get quality sleep, and don't underestimate the power of managing stress. At the end of the day, the biggest secret isn't a new product or tool, it's knowledge. Once you truly understand what blackheads are and why they form, you realize the solution isn't about attacking your skin, but guiding it back to balance. Clear skin doesn't come from force, it comes from understanding. Before you ever think about touching a blackhead, the real work begins with skin preparation. Most people think the secret lies in extraction itself, but the truth is, what you do before that step determines whether your skin comes out calm and clear, or red, irritated, and inflamed. Preparing your skin properly is like warming up before a workout. You're loosening things up, creating the right conditions for success, and minimizing the risk of injury. In this case, your injury would be broken capillaries, scarring, or worse, a deeper infection from bacteria being pushed into the pore, and that's what we want to avoid at all costs. A lot of people go straight for the mirror and start squeezing the moment they see something dark on their nose. But think about this. Would you ever try to remove something stuck deep in a crevice without softening it first? Probably not. Your pores respond the same way. The key to safe and effective blackhead removal is making the skin pliable and the buildup inside those pores more movable. That starts with a gentle cleanse. The goal is to remove surface oils, dirt, and makeup without stripping your natural barrier. Using a mild, non-foaming cleanser is ideal. It leaves the skin clean but still comfortable. After cleansing, warmth becomes your best friend. Steam helps soften the skin and loosens the hardened oil trapped inside pores. You don't need a fancy facial steamer. Simply holding a warm, damp towel over your face for a few minutes works wonders. The warmth opens the pores slightly and increases circulation, which makes extraction smoother and far less traumatic for your skin. It's such a simple step, yet so many people skip it because they're impatient. But this small bit of patience can mean the difference between a successful extraction and an angry breakout the next morning. Once the skin is prepped, exfoliation plays its part. The idea here isn't to scrub until your skin tingles or turns pink. That's just irritation disguised as progress. Gentle exfoliation, whether chemical or physical, helps clear away the dead skin cells that often trap oil inside pores. Ingredients like salicylic acid are especially helpful because they penetrate into the pore, breaking down the oil and debris from within. Think of it as loosening a cork in a bottle. You're not forcing it out, you're just making it easier for it to slide free. And here's where technique meets mindfulness. Skin prep isn't just physical, it's also about setting the right mindset. If you're rushing, stressed, or frustrated, you're more likely to overdo it. This is your time to slow down and treat your skin with care. Clean tools, clean hands, good lighting, and a calm approach. Those small details make all the difference. Extraction isn't about force, it's about finesse. Your pores respond better when your skin is warm, hydrated, and pliable, not tight and dry. Another step that's often overlooked is hydration. Hydrated skin is healthy skin, and healthy skin heals faster and reacts less. Using a lightweight moisturizer before and after extractions can actually make the process gentler. It might sound counterintuitive to moisturize oily skin, but when your skin is balanced, it produces less oil. Dehydrated skin, on the other hand, clings to oil like it's trying to compensate. So yes, even when dealing with blackheads, moisture is your ally, not your enemy. Some people ask whether masks should be part of their prep routine, and the answer depends on your skin type. Clay masks are fantastic for drawing out excess oil, but using them too often can lead to dryness. The key is moderation. Once or twice a week is usually enough. Think of these treatments as helpers, not daily essentials. The real magic lies in the everyday steps: cleansing, steaming, gentle exfoliation, and keeping your skin barrier intact. Prepping your skin isn't about making it look picture perfect in one go. It's about creating the right environment for your pores to stay clean over time. When you care for your skin before extraction, you're setting it up for success afterward. You're reducing inflammation, minimizing trauma, and allowing your skin to recover quickly. And the best part, you're teaching your pores to behave better in the long run. It's easy to underestimate the power of preparation because it doesn't give you instant gratification. But that's where the difference between an amateur and an expert lies. Experts know that the real results happen when you respect the process. Taking those extra few minutes to prep your skin isn't wasted time. It's an investment in its health, clarity, and resilience. Because in skincare, as in life, the best results come when you take the time to do things right. When it comes to extracting blackheads, the technique is everything. It's not about squeezing harder or pushing deeper. It's about precision, patience, and respect for your skin. You'd be surprised how often people think force equals results, when in reality, that's the fastest way to cause damage. Bruising, inflammation, broken capillaries, and even long-term scarring often come from overly aggressive extractions. The truth is, your skin will tell you when it's ready, and your job is to listen. The best extractions start with clean hands, clean tools, and a calm approach. If you've taken the time to prep your skin properly, your pores are already softened and more receptive. Now, the key is to work gently, not aggressively. Always use tissue or cotton around your fingertips to create a barrier between your nails and your skin. You're not trying to dig something out, you're guiding it to the surface. Using a come-done extractor tool can help, but only if you know how to handle it correctly. The pressure should be even and controlled, not forceful. You should never see the skin around the pore turn white or bruise. That's a clear sign you've gone too far. If a blackhead doesn't come out easily after a few gentle tries, stop. That's your skin telling you it's not ready. Forcing it can push bacteria deeper, creating a bigger problem later. Sometimes walking away is the smartest move. A few days of consistent exfoliation and treatment with salicylic acid or a retinoid will loosen the debris naturally, and that same spot will be much easier to extract next time. It's all about timing and patience. Healthy skin is a long game, not a one-day victory. One mistake people often make is trying to extract every blackhead they see in one session. That kind of approach leaves the skin red, swollen, and irritated. You have to remember that extraction is a controlled process. Your skin can only handle so much at once before it becomes inflamed. It's better to focus on one area at a time, say the nose or chin, and give the rest of your face time to breathe and recover. Overworking your skin doesn't make it clearer, it just makes it angrier. Lighting also matters more than people realize. Poor lighting can lead to unnecessary poking and pressing because you're not seeing what you're doing clearly. Bright, natural light is ideal. And don't forget about your environment. Make sure your tools are disinfected, your hands are washed, and your workspace is clean. You might not think bacteria can make that much difference, but when you're dealing with open pores, even a small lapse in hygiene can trigger an infection or breakout. Once a blackhead has been safely extracted, the way you treat that area determines how well it heals. That's why every extraction should be followed by something soothing and antibacterial, a toner with witch hazel, a hydrating serum with niacinamide, or even a light layer of aloe vera. This helps calm irritation, shrink the pores, and reduce the risk of post-inflammatory marks. Skipping this step is like finishing a workout and forgetting to stretch. It leaves your skin vulnerable and stressed. It's also worth mentioning that not all bumps on your skin are meant to be extracted. Some might be closed comedones, cysts, or milia, and these require different care. If something doesn't look like a typical blackhead, it's best not to touch it. That's where professional guidance comes in. Even the most experienced dermatologists know when to leave something alone. There's wisdom in restraint. Over time, mastering the right extraction technique becomes less about removing blackheads and more about maintaining balance. When done correctly, extractions can actually train your skin to behave better. The pores stay cleaner longer, inflammation goes down, and your skin starts to glow from consistency, not trauma. It's incredibly satisfying to see a clear pore, but the real success is when that same pore stays clear without needing constant intervention. The art of extraction lies in the gentleness of your approach and the awareness of your limits. You don't win by fighting your skin, you win by understanding it. Every time you resist the urge to dig deeper or rush the process, you're choosing long-term health over short-term gratification. That's what real skincare is all about. Because in the end, clear skin isn't achieved through pressure, it's achieved through patience. What most people don't realize is that the real transformation doesn't happen during the extraction, it happens right after. Post-extraction care is where the skin either heals beautifully or spirals into irritation, redness, and new breakouts. You've just disrupted the surface of your skin, opened pores, and in some cases caused minor trauma. At that moment, your skin is vulnerable. It's crying out for calm, not for harsh toners, gritty scrubs, or heavy creams. Treating it with care right after extraction is what keeps the progress going and prevents you from undoing all that effort. Think of your skin like a freshly tilled garden. The soil has been turned, the surface is exposed, and it needs the right nourishment to grow something healthy. If you dump the wrong things into it too much too soon, you can ruin the entire process. After extraction, the first thing your skin needs is to be soothed and protected. Cold compresses or cool water rinses can help reduce swelling and bring down redness. It's amazing how something so simple can make such a big difference. You don't need to pile on layers of product, you just need to calm the skin and let it breathe. Next comes the step that often gets skipped, but makes all the difference: sanitization. Even when you've used clean tools and washed your hands, your pores are still open, and that means bacteria can easily find their way in. Applying a gentle alcohol-free antibacterial toner helps keep the skin clean without stinging or over-drying. Ingredients like witch hazel or tea tree water can be effective, but only in moderation. You don't want to strip the skin of its natural oils because those oils are part of its defense system. The goal isn't to sterilize your face. It's to create a balanced environment for healing. Once the skin is clean and calm, hydration is the next essential step. This is where a lightweight, non-comedogenic moisturizer comes in. People often assume that applying moisturizer after blackhead removal will clog their pores again, but it's actually the opposite. When the skin is hydrated, it strengthens the barrier, reduces inflammation, and prevents the pores from overproducing oil. Think of moisture as a protective seal. It locks in comfort and shields the skin from environmental stress while it recovers. Hyaluronic acid, ceramides, and niacinamide are great ingredients for this step because they hydrate deeply without clogging pores. Post-extraction care also means protecting your skin from the sun. Even if you're just stepping outside for a short while, your skin is more sensitive after any kind of treatment. Sun exposure at this stage can easily cause dark spots, hyperpigmentation, or irritation. That's why using a broad-spectrum sunscreen is non-negotiable. A lightweight SPF 30 or higher gives your skin that extra layer of protection while it rebuilds itself. If you're going to invest in any skincare product, let it be sunscreen. It's the ultimate anti-aging and anti-scaring tool. Now, beyond the basics, there's one thing that makes a lasting difference: restraint. Once you've done your extractions, resist the urge to keep touching or checking your skin in the mirror. It's tempting to inspect your progress or go after one last stubborn spot, but every time you touch your face, you're introducing new bacteria and disrupting the healing process. Your skin needs peace and time to restore itself. Picking, poking, or prodding only leads to inflammation, and inflammation leads to scars. The next few days after extraction should focus on nourishment and consistency. This is when gentle, targeted care pays off. Using products with soothing ingredients like aloe vera, green tea extract, or Centella asiatica helps the skin rebuild and stay calm. Avoid harsh actives like strong acids or retinoids for at least a day or two. Give your skin space to recover before you return to your normal routine. The skin heals best when it isn't overwhelmed with too many ingredients at once. And here's the part most people underestimate: post-extraction care is also about prevention. When you soothe and strengthen your skin properly afterward, you're reducing the likelihood of new blackheads forming. You're teaching your skin how to stay balanced, less reactive, and more resilient. The pores stay clearer longer because the surface of your skin is functioning properly. It's hydrated, protected, and not inflamed. It's the same reason why professionals never skip this step. They know that what happens after treatment determines how the skin will look in the days and weeks that follow. It's easy to get caught up in the satisfaction of seeing a clear pore, but the real success lies in what you do next. Taking those extra moments to soothe, hydrate, and protect your skin is what separates a quick fix from a lasting result. Because beautiful skin isn't just about what you remove, it's about how you care for what remains. The truth about blackheads is that removing them isn't the hard part, keeping them from coming back is. Anyone can do a one-time cleanup and see instant results, but lasting clarity comes from what you do every single day. Prevention is where the real work begins, and it's also where most people lose patience. But that's because we're conditioned to chase quick fixes instead of consistency. The reality is, if you want smooth, clear, healthy skin, it's not about perfection, it's about persistence. Every blackhead starts the same way. A pore gets clogged because oil, dead skin, and debris build up faster than they're cleared away. So the first step to prevention is simple: keep the pores moving. That means cleansing regularly but not excessively. Washing your face twice a day is enough for most people. Too much cleansing actually backfires because when you strip your skin's natural oils, it panics and produces even more oil to compensate. It's a cycle that keeps the pores clogged and the skin frustrated. The key is balance, gentle, consistent cleansing that respects your skin barrier. Exfoliation plays a huge role here too, but it has to be done smartly. The goal isn't to scrub your skin into submission. Over-exfoliating leads to micro-tears, inflammation, and sensitivity, all of which make your skin produce more oil and trap more debris. Instead, think of exfoliation as maintenance. A mild chemical exfoliant, like salicylic acid, works deep inside the pores to dissolve oil and dead skin cells without irritating the surface. For those with more sensitive skin, lactic acid or mandelic acid can offer similar benefits with a softer touch. Doing this 2 or 3 times a week keeps your pores clear and your texture smooth without ever crossing into harsh territory. Now, another underrated aspect of blackhead prevention is moisture. Most people think oily skin doesn't need hydration, but that's one of the biggest myths in skincare. When your skin lacks moisture, it actually produces more oil to make up for it, and that oil becomes the perfect breeding ground for clogged pores. A lightweight, oil-free moisturizer helps your skin find its equilibrium. When it's balanced, it stops overproducing sebum, which means fewer chances for blockages to form. Hydration also keeps the top layer of your skin flexible, allowing oil to flow more easily rather than getting trapped. If you want to go a step further, incorporating a retinoid into your routine can make a dramatic difference. Retinoids increase cell turnover, meaning dead skin cells are shed before they can clog pores. They also help regulate oil production and improve the overall texture of your skin. The key is to start slowly, once or twice a week, and build tolerance. Retinoids are powerful, but when used properly, they're one of the most effective long-term tools dermatologists rely on to keep pores clear and skin healthy. But skincare products are only half the story. What you do outside of your routine matters just as much. Pillowcases, phones, makeup brushes, all of these can harbor bacteria and oil that contribute to clogged pores. Cleaning them regularly is a simple habit that prevents a lot of unnecessary breakouts. The same goes for touching your face throughout the day. It sounds harmless, but every touch transfers oil, dirt, and bacteria that your skin doesn't need. Awareness of these small habits makes a big difference over time. Diet and lifestyle also play a subtle but significant role. Processed foods, Excess sugar and dairy can trigger oil production in some people, while hydration, balanced meals, and regular exercise help keep the skin functioning optimally. You can't out-cleanse a poor diet or lack of sleep. Your skin mirrors what's happening inside your body. Stress is another silent trigger. It can spike hormones that increase sebum production, which is why breakouts often appear right when life feels most chaotic. Managing stress through rest, mindfulness, or even just deep breathing can do more for your skin than you might think. Prevention is really about building habits that support your skin day in and day out. It's not glamorous and it doesn't happen overnight, but over time your pores begin to respond. They stay cleaner longer. Your complexion looks brighter, smoother, and calmer. And most importantly, your skin becomes stronger and more self-regulating. When your routine is consistent, you won't need to rely on frequent extractions or quick fixes because your skin won't be trapped in that constant cycle of clogging and clearing. The most beautiful skin isn't the one that never breaks out. It's the one that stays balanced because it's cared for with consistency. Prevention is the quiet, steady commitment that makes every other step worth it. Because the real secret to clear skin isn't what you do once. It's what you do every day. One of the hardest lessons to learn in skincare is patience. We live in a world where we expect fast results, one product, one treatment, one miracle that makes everything disappear overnight. But skin doesn't work that way. It has its own rhythm, its own timeline, and its own way of responding to care. The truth is, achieving clear, healthy skin is just as much about mindset as it is about products. The connection between your mind and your skin is real, and learning to be patient with both makes all the difference. When people start a new skincare routine, especially after dealing with stubborn blackheads or breakouts, they often expect visible change in a few days. But your skin is an organ, it renews itself gradually. It takes weeks for cell turnover to reveal the results of consistent care. During that time, it's easy to get frustrated. You might look in the mirror and feel like nothing is changing, or worse, like things are getting worse before they get better. But that's often just part of the process. When your pores start to clear, impurities that were trapped below the surface can temporarily make their way out. That's not failure, that's healing. Being kind to your skin also means being kind to yourself. It's so easy to stand in front of the mirror and focus on every flaw, every tiny bump or dark spot, as if your skin defines your worth. But skin issues don't make you dirty, lazy, or unattractive, they make you human. Every person, no matter how perfect their skin looks on camera, has their own texture, pores, and imperfections. The goal isn't to chase perfection. It's to reach a place where your skin feels healthy, calm, and balanced. That's what real confidence looks like. Consistency always beats intensity. You can have the best products in the world, but if you use them sporadically or keep switching routines every week, you'll never give your skin the stability it needs. Your skin thrives on routine. Smalls, like your body does. Small, steady habits, cleansing, moisturizing, protecting, done every day are what builds strong, resilient skin. It's like training a muscle. Repetition creates strength. And when you start to see results, it's not just your skin that changes. You start trusting yourself more. You realize that patience pays off and that you have control over how you care for yourself. Now, there's another side to this connection that people often overlook, the emotional one. Stress, anxiety, lack of sleep, even the way you think about your skin, all of these can influence what shows up on your face. When you're stressed, your body releases hormones that increase oil production, and that excess oil can clog pores and trigger breakouts. You might notice that your skin flares up right before a big event or when life feels overwhelming. That's not a coincidence. Your skin reflects what's going on internally. When you calm your mind, your skin often follows. Taking care of your skin should never feel like punishment. It's not about attacking your pores or fighting against your reflection. It's an act of respect. Every cleanser, every mask, every gentle pat of moisturizer is a conversation you're having with your body, telling it you're paying attention, you're caring for it, and you're giving it what it needs. When you approach skincare from that perspective, it stops being a chore and becomes a ritual, a small, grounding moment in your day that reconnects you to yourself. It's also important to recognize progress when it happens. Too often, people only notice what's wrong with their skin, not how far they've come. Maybe the blackheads on your nose are less frequent. Maybe your skin feels smoother when you wash your face. Maybe the redness fades faster now than it used to. Those small wins matter. They're signs that your skin is responding, that your effort is paying off, even if the change feels gradual. Celebrate those moments instead of rushing to the next problem. Every step in your skincare journey teaches you something, not just about your skin, but about patience, self-discipline, and acceptance. You learn that setbacks don't erase progress, that healing takes time, and that sometimes doing less is more powerful than doing more. And that mindset doesn't just create better skin, it creates balance. It's the same discipline that helps you stay grounded in other parts of your life. At the end of the day, having healthy, glowing skin isn't just about cleansers, exfoliants, or serums. It's about trust. Trusting the process, trusting your skin, and trusting yourself enough to stay consistent even when the results aren't immediate. Because real beauty doesn't come from forcing change, it comes from patience, care, and understanding. And when you learn to give your skin that kind of grace, it always rewards you in return.